So the CyberTech image walkthrough. Yeah. So this is first I'll log in. So jmessington password 123 exclamation mark. Okay, so first thing you do always read me. So it explains the forensic questions. This is the competition scenario. So it's saying all user accounts have to be password protected. Employees are required to choose secure passwords. However, the policy may not be currently enforced on this computer. So that tells you that you'll probably have to enforce that policy. The presence of any non-related media files and hacking tools is strictly prohibited. So if you see those, you have to delete them. The company does not use any centralized maintenance or polling tools to manage their IT equipment. It's for official business use only by authorized users. It's a critical computer in the production environment, so do not attempt to upgrade the operating system on this machine. It only uses Ubuntu 24.04, so that basically just tells us don't upgrade the operating system, and then users can never log in as root, so if administrators need to run commands as root, they need to use the sudo command. We just need to fix the server, basically that's what that's saying. It's critical services firewall, so that's like one of the servers that we need to have up. And set good security practices. I lost points. What? Alright, we don't worry about that though. That should be fun. Authorized administrators are J. Mussington, B. Zuckerman, and T. Slow. And authorized users are V. Gasoline, Remsworth, and C. Guy. So we'd have to delete all of these, anything that are not these. So okay. So the first thing we're gonna do is forensic questions. So we open that up eventually. Hello. Okay. There's an image file named located on the downloads of one of the users on this computer. Your task is to compute the SHA-256 hash of this file. Provide the hash as your answer. What's it named? It's a bit weird. But like, I guess we can just go through the downloads files and see if it's there. So files, downloads. There's no image file here, so it's not going to be here. So then you have to look for other users. So instead of logging in to the other user, we can instead go to the terminal, sudo su. So now we're in the root, right? So now we're in /home/jmuskington. So this is my file system. So the file system that I just opened that had nothing in the downloads folder, that was in jmuskington. So if I want to go to a different user, cd dot dot, so now I'm in the /home directory. So now you can see all the users here. So let's check B Zuckerman. cd/B Zuckerman. Okay, so now we can just check the downloads of this one, and there's nothing there. So cd dot dot, cd dot dot, back to home. So then let's check V gasoline. Alright, so there's a file right there, getcooked.jpg. So, well, okay, of course that wouldn't work, but anyways, So we have getcook.jpg, right? So what's the forensic question asking? It's saying there's an image file. Your task is to compute the SHA-256 hash of this file. Provide the hash as your answer. So there's probably a tool on Linux that allows you to compute the SHA-256 hash of this file. Let's say I don't know the tool. So go to ChatGPT. What is a tool that would allow me? Okay, built-in tools. So we could use this command, SHA-256 sum, and then the file name. So go back here, SHA-256 sum get cook.jpg. We get this. Let's see if that's the answer. So copy that, paste that there. Okay, whatever. Control S to save. And you can see I got points. So if we go back to the scoring report, we can see I got one forensic question correct. So that was the first forensic question. So let's move on to the next one. A suspicious file named generate.sh has been downloaded onto the system. Please find the URL from which this file has been downloaded, and please find the hidden secret inside the website. So you may think that this is really complicated and need to do some crazy stuff, but think about it. So we already saw the file earlier, right? Downloads generator.sh. That means it was on this user itself, Jay Muskington. So how would you know websites that it has access? Well, you can check the search history, right? So history today, it's what I've just looked at, but then you see there's older than 6 months. And then they searched up free Robux, and then when they got to this Robux generator, right? So then this is going to be, for the forensic question, the website is going to be this right here. So we can copy and paste that there. And then the hidden secret. Okay, so then there's many different ways to find hidden secrets on a website, but most of the time in this kind of thing, the first thing you want to do is inspect the page. So you could either right click and view page source. So in this case, you can already see secret message. It doesn't actually give free Robux. Shh. So what you can do is literally just, so all of this is the comment thing in HTML, this part. So that's just indicating a comment. So you're not going to copy all this. You're just going to take this, copy that, paste that in there, Control S, and see if we gain points. If not, then we can remove the secret message part. Alright, so that wasn't, no, never mind. So now we can see we got that question correct as well. Alright, next question. The hacker, after installing some hacking tools, decided to take a break by scrolling through memes. While doing so, they downloaded the image file through the user Jay Muskington. In an attempt to cover their tracks, the hacker hid a secret text file inside this image file. Your task is to find the hidden text file within the image and reveal its content. Example answer is I hacked the system. So we're in Jay Muskington already, so we can just look through the files, and we have meme.jpg. Okay, so there's many different tools we can use to find secret text files inside the image file. Let's say you don't know any at all. What tool could I use to find? Why is it taking so long? To use steg analysis, alright, so there's many different solutions here, but what I think would be the best one, since this is a rather simple one, is going to be steg hide. Okay, so we can run those commands. So we need to go back to the directory of J Mussington, and we can change back into what file was it? Documents. It's in documents. So now we can install. Why did it do that? Alright, so we have StackHide already installed. So then, what does ChatGPT say to do? StackHide extract -sf image.jpg. So go here, StackHide extract sf, and then instead of image.jpg, you're gonna put the name of the image file. So in this case, it was meme.jpg. Enter passphrase. So at first, we're just gonna assume that there's no passphrase because we weren't given any. So we just enter row extracted data to extract.txt. So cat extract.txt. I'll be back, hacker XYZ. So we just copy that and we paste it there. Control S to save. And we get points. There's also another way to do this. This might not work all the time, but what you can do, you can go here, online image steganography decoder. Bro, trust me, I'm not a robot. Is that a bicycle? Okay, so there's a few ones. I'll just use the Paracel for this one. Choose an image. We can choose this image and then just submit. And huh, that's weird. Okay, that's whatever though. We already got the answer. Okay, whatever. Don't worry about that. So that's the third forensic question. You could use a different online one and it might work differently, but yeah. Forensic question 4. A hacker who gained access to this computer appended an insecure line in a critical file for sudo permissions. What is that line? You should probably delete it after you find it. So, I say know nothing about sudo permissions. Where could we ever find that? Oh, we could check the PowerPoint. So, Linux training. Yeah, right here. So, we can find a slide for sudo permissions. So this is an example. So we can check this file. So check /etc/pam.d/sudo. So we're gonna first, in our terminal, cd all the way back, and then cd to right here. Oh, I didn't. Okay. Also, there's another command you can run. I'm gonna do this right now. apt install VMware tools. I think that's the wrong thing. Alright, wait. Open-VM-tools. So I can just alright, it says and I'm going to fetch some archives, maybe run that. If this doesn't work, I'll just use a different one. Alright. Alright, so I think that worked. So now we can go back here, copy that, paste it here. Okay, I guess not, whatever. It's whatever. /etc/pam.d/sudo. Huh. Alright, so that file is definitely wrong. So we're gonna ask ChatGPT, what file configures sudo permissions in Linux? Sudoers, so /etc/sudoers. So we can go to there. So it's probably a file itself, so we can cat. I think that worked. Yeah, so this is your file. Okay, but let's say we want to edit this file. So, but we don't. Huh. Okay, so you can just copy this, I think. Okay, wait. Let me try downloading this again. Oh, it's saying to reboot it. Oh, I'm not doing all that. Okay. So what's the question asking again? The insecure line. And while we're doing that, we can just look through it and see what we can see. Oh, defaults exclamation mark authenticate. That's probably weird because it's at the very bottom, right? So let's pause that. If I see defaults authenticate in the sudoers file, is that bad? Okay. Alright, so what that does is it disables password authentications for all sudo commands by default. So that is not good because our company policy says that that should not happen. You should be able to use the password. So how I was able to tell that, you can see it says a hacker who gained access to the computer appended the insecure line. So they kind of put at the very end, so it's kind of easy to see that that's not a file that's not a thing they want to be there. If this wasn't like that, then you could always like actually enable the VMware tool so you can copy paste it from the VM back to your PC, just paste it into ChatGPT. So, but now I'll copy this, I'll paste it here, Control S, and we gain points. But we still want to delete this, right? Because that's not good. We don't want that on our system. So, what we're gonna do, there's a default text editor that's built into Linux called Nano. So we can do nano sudoers. Alright, it says the file must be edited with the vsudo command as root. Are we able to edit it though? Let's try to delete right here. Bro. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Alright, then to exit, we can Control X. It says right here. Control X. No. Control X. Save modified buffer, yes or no. We're gonna click yes. And enter. Then we should gain points, I think. Or it didn't save. Alright, that line is not there anymore. Let's just see if it worked though. So let's exit out of this terminal. And let's see, because what that line does makes it so you don't need the root password to enter root. So sudo su, and now we actually need the password. So that worked. And we got the forensic question right. So there is a source code editor installed on this computer. Find the release key fingerprint of the source code editor, 1. Next, find the key type, 2. And the date the key expires in the format year, month, date. So, what is a source code editor? What are source code? So, for example, it shows nano here. So basically, a source code editor is just anything you're able to use to edit code. So there's all these examples that are there. So basically what we're looking for is a source code editor that's not always already included with Linux because it's saying that there's one installed on this computer itself, right? So where you're gonna find most apps within Linux, so where would I find these in Ubuntu? Okay, so it's saying apt or snap. So any ones that you find are going to be either in the apt place or the snap place. So let's, alright, yeah, shut up. Where would I go to? Okay, yeah, so it's saying there's this one or this one. So we can run these commands in order to see what we have downloaded. So let's run this first. Apt list dash dash installed. So we can see everything we have installed here. So for example, I saw Python down there. But I mean, it seems pretty unlikely that we'll find anything here because it's kind of difficult to see. But you see, there's GNOME, whatever this stuff is. But then, so that's kind of difficult, right? So we can go back to that later if we need to. There's also Snap. Snap is a much newer one, so it has stuff like VS Code and Discord. So chances are that a text editor, right, the source code editor that's installed on this computer is gonna use Snap because it's gonna be a easy, I guess more user-friendly one. So we can see. Let's do what snap list, and that's quite a bit easier to look at. So we have Bear, Core 22 firmware updater, GNOME, GTK common themes, Notepad++, Snap, Snore, Snapd, Wine. Okay, this Notepad++ is actually also a text editor. But if you didn't know that, you could just copy this. Well, I guess not copy it since that doesn't work, but copy that. Which of these is a source code editor? Okay, and even if you didn't know that it was inside Snap, you could do the same thing. You could just copy paste whatever you got from apt list into there. But most of the time, newer applications such as text editors are going to be inside Snap. So here we can see Notepad++. So now, since we know that's it, we need to find the release key fingerprint, the key type, and the date the key expires. So I'm gonna make a new track because I don't premium. The key type. and we gain points from that. So I guess that website was just wrong. Okay, so that's all of the forensic questions. So now we can see there's 10 more security issues to fix. So let's go back to the README and see what we might need to do. Well, one of the first things we can do is get rid of unauthorized users. So let's get rid of that, get rid of that. Go to settings. Alright, there's a lot of stuff that we can do in here. So system, users, unlock. Or authenticated. So we can see hacker 8, hacker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that definitely means that there's something on the system that is causing these hackers to appear. So remember that file from the Roblox thing, the free Robux? It's called generator.sh, right? That could be the problem. So if we open with Notepad++, I guess. Or I can see what it's doing. It's adding users here. So what we need to do, and then when it's run, it's gonna add execute permissions and ask for this, ask for that, whatever. But we're gonna delete this, and then we're gonna go back in here and we have to delete all these hackers. Let's remove that. Oh wait, I should probably be deleting the files and settings. Yeah, whatever. Okay, now we gain points from what? Unauthorized users removed. Did you regenerate a SH to see what it does? I think I deleted it, right? Did I not delete it? Trash. Oh, delete from trash. Gone. Okay, bye. I mean, that should be updating, but it's not. Okay, whatever. Now we can see if there's any unauthorized users and delete them. So, authorized administrators J. Muskington, Bzukerman, and T. Slow. So all of these guys should have admin permissions. So we're gonna go here. J. Muskington, that's me. I have administrator. Bzukerman. He has administrator. And T. Slow, he does not. So we need to enable that. Okay, so we gain points from that. And then who else? V. Gasoline, Remsworth, and C. Guy. Well, C. Pit. C. Pit is not an unauthorized user, so we can remove him. Okay, so then we have to check these guys to see if they have admin permission. So V. Gasoline, he does not, that's correct. Remsworth does not. And C. Guy, oh, he does, so we need to change that. Okay. And then critical services firewall. Well, we can just enable the firewall. Okay. so then we got that. It's still not giving me the freaking thing. Okay. So now, what else can we do? Well, we should probably set a password policy because it says authorized administrator passwords should correct the last time you did a password audit but are not guaranteed to be accurately correct. So we can just set the passwords equal to this. So what that is saying is that the administrator passwords were correct the last time, but they might not still be correct. So this is what the password should be. So what we can do is we can set new passwords for these guys. How did I lose points? You're joking. So why is it? Did I not delete the file? Okay, so for some reason, generator.sh is still running even though I deleted it, which is, I do not think that's supposed to happen. Oh, I see. Generator.sh made a different file that is causing there to be things. So since I already deleted it, let me look at it again. So what did it do? Oh, I see. So it made a script in etc/notmalware.sh. So I need to delete that file. That's the file that it made. Alright, that's probably my bad. So alright, so that's the file. We need to delete that. So to delete files, you use the command rm. Now it's gone. Yeah, so we got points from that. Okay, so that's done. So now I should probably set the passwords. So the password for we already know my password is correct. We can set Bzukerman's password now. Okay, so it's not allowing me to set that password because I guess it wants a better password. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do huh. Yeah. Okay. Then we can do the same thing for tslow. Also, by the way, that's not how you're supposed to do it. You should set an actually good password, but you know, make sure that's correct. Now there's 3 more security issues left. So one of them could be the password policy. Let's see. So I guess we could check that. So back to Linux training modules, and you go to the slides that are on password policy. Password configuration. In terminal, type this sudo. Well, since you're already in the sudo thing, just do get, edit, set it, get it. Okay. /etc/login.defs. You could also use nano for this, but yeah, since we don't have get edit, we can just use nano. And we can see what we can change. Alright, so you see this is definitely wrong. So password max days, it should not be this. We can, that's not good. That's fine. Okay. So password max days should be 90. So 90. Password minimum days is 10. And then why did I do that? 10. And password worn age is 7. Okay, that's already fine. So then we can control X, yes, enter to save. And we should gain points. In a second, maybe. Let me make sure that change actually went through. Yeah. Alright, it's possible that that just doesn't give you points on this. So, what else can we do? Let's look at the README. So, the presence of any non-work related media files and hacking tools is strictly prohibited. So, what are hacking tools? Some examples of hacking tools. It says in the PowerPoint somewhere, maybe. Alright, yeah, it does not say what we need to delete, but it's also in the cheat sheet, probably. So, links, files, ultimate Linux checklist. So, common hacking tools, Netcat, John the Ripper, Metasploit, Nmap, Nessus, Wireshark, etc. So, most of those are going to be in Snap, right? Because that's for more newer applications. So, Snap list. So we can see we have Well, I guess nothing on here. So, but we can also see on our desktop, we have Wireshark. So we need to delete Wireshark, and that's going to be in the apt installed. Wait. Hold up. Our apt list dash dash installed. So now we can look for stuff that's on here that we don't want. So we can see Wireshark should not be on there. So we can start with deleting that. So it's apt remove and then the package name. Alright, now we can go back to the list and see what else is on here. What was that? I saw something. Hold up. Nmap. Nmap is also something they don't want because that is, I guess, a hacking tool as well, according to CyberPatriot. I'll just look to see if there's anything else here as well. Don't think there will be though. Yeah. So okay. So now exploring report. 14 of 15 fix. Also, I don't think that changing the password settings got me points because I don't know, just didn't. Because I felt like normally it will probably get you points in a normal one. So what else do we need to fix that will get us these last 5 points? It says non-work related media files are not allowed on the computer. So that could be any images and stuff like that. So for example, let me get rid of that. So for example, that could be this. You can delete that. This. Okay. Um, okay, and then there's also should be some on other users maybe. So we could probably just check how would I Alright, so we can run that command. Hold up. Just go to chat GPT on this. You should not do this in an actual competition. I don't want to reboot the machine. So, okay. Now, copy that. Go over here. CD back to here. Paste. We shouldn't have to worry about this gnome. You don't have to worry about meme.jpg because it's in trash, but then we see slash in vgasoline there's the getcook.jpg from earlier, so we can remove that. So rm slash home slash celine slash that's gone. So then we gain points. Yay, that's everything. So we did the 5 forensic questions that got us 50 points. We removed unauthorized user. We removed the unauthorized hackers. We made sure we configured administrators, so we made sure T Sloan C guy had the correct administrator settings. We changed the insecure password for Bzukerman because according to the README, money is not a good password. We made sure the firewall is on. We removed the unauthorized software and program. We removed the unauthorized media files, and we got rid of the script that created hackers. So that's it. If you have any questions, just ask,